We're here live for the Legacy Boxing Series, proudly brought to you by Legacy Sports Management in association with Chino Medina Promotions and sponsored by Brecoin and Simbaverse. This is our official press conference for the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, to start off our press conference, I'd like to take a moment and introduce our panel guests. Starting on my left, over here, we have a man that needs no introduction. He has a professional record of 35 wins with 31 wins coming in by way of knockout. In his 5 losses, he has never, ever been stopped in the ring. He is the former WBA Super Light Welterweight Champion and the WBA Welterweight Champion of the world. Please help me welcome your co-promoter and former champion, Marcos Chino Maidana. Moving on down the line on our panel, we have the CEO of Legacy Sports Management, Mr. Kareem Akar. Moving on, we will start off with our fighters going on the left. Starting off with our fighter on the left, he comes in with a pro record tonight of 7 wins, a perfect record with no losses, with 5 of those big wins coming in by way of knockout. He is a former champion from the Tokyo Olympics, all the way from Buenos Aires, Argentina. It's Francisco Bebu Veron. And our fighter represented on the end over here is going to be coming in with a perfect pro record of 14 wins and no losses, with 11 of those big wins coming in by way of knockout. All the way from Baja California, Mexico, he is a featherweight matchup. It's going to be Ramiro Cecenia. And now, moving on our right-hand side, over here, we have on my right a man with a perfect pro record of 17 wins, 12 of those big wins coming in by way of knockout. A perfect record as he fights tomorrow evening. Representing Buenos Aires, Argentina, it's Agustin Gawato. Moving on the end, we have a man coming in with another perfect pro record of 4 wins, 3 of those big wins coming in by way of knockout. Your super welterweight, Brian Arregui. And finally, we'd like to introduce the man from Cuba, from Santiago, Cuba. He comes in with a pro record of 2 wins and no losses. It's Frank El Perro Zaldivar. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we have completed our panel and we'll be opening up the floor to questions. If you do not have questions, if so, you do have a question, we will be passing on a mic to you. Ask your questions in an orderly fashion and direct it directly to your fighters. The floor is now open. Well, I will start things off. I want to look over towards Cesena over on my far left. Cesena, you're coming in with a perfect pro record. You're coming in with a perfect pro record over your 14 wins, young man, at 11 KOs. You've never been stopped. You've never been defeated. You're coming in with a heavy hand, a lot of punching power. How do you feel, man? This is your second time, I believe, coming back into Dubai, isn't it? And you've recently been signed to Legacy Sports Management. Can you share a few thoughts with the crowd?
Bienvenido aquí a Dubái. Tienes un perfecto récord de 14-0. Nadie te ha parado. Nunca has perdido y viene ahora por segunda vez a pelear aquí en Dubái. Así que, ¿qué experiencia has llevado la última vez?
Bueno, primero que nada, muchas gracias a todos los que han sido parte de este evento. La verdad, venimos muy bien preparados, listos para cualquier cosa dentro del cuadrilátero. Pensamos ganar cómodamente, vamos con todo.
First of all, thank you very much to Legacy Sports Management to have the opportunity to fight here in Dubai. I have a perfect preparation and I come to beat him.
Very good. We're very excited to see him continue this perfect pro record. Hopefully by way of knockout. We'll see him tomorrow on the 26th. Moving on, I'd like to ask Mr. Salvador Frank El Perro. It's a very interesting nickname. Frank, you are one of the only professional Cuban fighters currently living and fighting out of Cuba. How do you feel about being the only one, the last man standing?
Bienvenido a Frank Saldivar. Tienes un nombre, El Perro, bien cómico en el boxeo. Vas a hacer tu tercera pelea profesional. ¿Cómo tú te sientes ahora en el equipo de Legacy? Más que eres el único boxeador cubano que vive dentro de la isla. ¿Cómo te sientes con esa virtud?
Bueno, ante todo, saludo para todos los presentes y agradecido con el Team Legacy por darme la oportunidad de estar participando aquí y de acogerme en la casa. Bueno, el tema de que soy el único boxeador profesional que vive en Cuba me ha llevado a algo bastante fuerte porque ha dado mucho que hablar en todas las redes sociales, estoy dando entrevistas a diario por ese simple motivo de que soy el único boxeador que vive en Cuba. Pero bueno, ahora aquí en Dubái venimos con todo a salir a ganar, mente positiva y a llevar esa victoria para el Team Legacy. Muchas gracias.
First of all, thank you Team Legacy for signing me. It's right, I'm the only professional box fighter living in Cuba. All the social media in the United States and in Cuba speak about this, but I'm very happy and pleasure to be now a professional and part of Legacy Sports Promotion.
I have one more question for you, Frank. You've obviously coming in with a perfect pro record. Admittedly, you're 2-0, but your opponent seems to have a lot more experience in his corner. He's actually coming in with 16 fights, 18 losses, and 5 by way of knockout. Do you feel any pressure going up against someone slightly more experienced than yourself?
Tú vienes con solo 2 peleas y tu oponente viene con 16 ganadas, 8 derrotas. Es decir, que tiene mucha más experiencia que tú. ¿Tú sientes alguna presión por eso?
Para nada, no siento ninguna presión de ningún tipo, para nada. Él tiene esa pelea porque él tuvo las oportunidades, cosa que yo todavía no he tenido, ¿me entiendes? Y cuando yo tenga la oportunidad, tú puedes estar seguro que va a ser un récord perfecto. Muchas gracias.
I don't feel pressure for this. He have more fights because he's longer in the professional boxing. But I hope that Legacy gives me the opportunity to make all my career with him, and yeah, I will beat him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're very excited to see Frank Salvador. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a round of applause. We're going to move on down the line over here to my man, all the way from Buenos Aires, Augustin Gauto. Augustin, you're one of the few fighters on here with another perfect pro record. 17 wins, 12 of those wins coming by way of knockout. You clearly have heavy hands. He's also number 3 here for the WBO ranked. Who do you feel you want to take on after this challenge?
Bienvenido aquí a Dubái, Gauto. Tú tienes un récord perfecto de 17-0. Estás en el número 3 de la OMB. ¿Y cómo tú vienes preparado para esta pelea?
Primero, la verdad que muy agradecido con todo Chino Maidana Promotion, con el Team Legacy por esta nueva oportunidad. Y la verdad yo nunca le di importancia al récord, siempre me preparé de la mejor. Bueno, como te decía, nunca le di importancia al récord. Siempre me preparé de la mejor manera para cada pelea y esta es una más, vengo muy bien preparado, así que nada, contento y agradecido de estar acá.
First of all, thank you very much to my team, Chino Promotion and Team Legacy. I never look on the records for myself or for my opponent. I come perfect preparation, so let's fight begin.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're very excited to see this young man in the ring, hopefully continue that winning streak. Give him a round of applause for Augustin Gauto. Moving on down the line, this man has another perfect record of 7 wins, with 5 of those big wins coming in by way of knockout. All the way from Buenos Aires, he's going to be fighting in the middleweight category. Francisco Veron, you are a former Tokyo Olympian champion. How does it feel, man? You're here for the first time in Dubai. Do you feel the pressure is a lot more compared to your fight in the Olympic, or being here on an international stage, being watched by thousands around the world?
Hola Verón, bienvenido aquí a Dubái. Tú eres uno más en la cartelera del Team Legacy Chino Maidana Promotion que viene invicto. Fuiste a la Olimpiada también, que seguro fue una gran experiencia para ti. Y ahora vas a pelear fuera de Argentina internacionalmente, que mucha gente te van a ver. ¿Cómo te sientes?
Bueno, primero que nada agradecer a Legacy y al Chino Maidana Promotion por haberme invitado. Voy a aprovechar esta oportunidad. Vamos a demostrar de qué estamos hechos los argentinos y las Olimpiadas fue una linda experiencia, una gran experiencia, pero bueno, ahora cambió todo. Ahora somos profesionales y vamos a demostrar de qué estamos hechos.
Thank you very much for my both promoters to invite me here to Dubai and give me the opportunity. Yeah, the Olympics 2020 was a nice experience, but now I am full professional and I come to be world champion.
Amazing. We look forward to seeing you in the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, Francisco Veron. And finally, down the line, we're going to pass it on to his former teammate from the Tokyo Olympics as well. This man enters the ring tomorrow evening with a pro record of 4 wins, 3 of those big wins coming in by way of knockout. Your super welterweight fighter, it's Brian Arregui. Brian, you are actually going to be fighting for a WBO Youth World Championship title. This is a massive belt to add under your achievements, having come from the Olympics. Do you feel the pressure having fighting for a WBO title? What's your thoughts?
Bienvenido Arregui aquí a Dubái. Vas a tener ahora tu quinta pelea profesional y ya con la quinta vas a tener un gran título, el OMB juvenil, el mundial. ¿Cómo tú te preparaste para esta pelea de título de 10 rounds primera vez?
Bueno, primero que nada le quiero dar gracias a Legacy, al Chino Maidana Promotion. Y bueno, la verdad que estoy muy contento por esta oportunidad que se me dio. Estamos bien preparados y el sábado vamos a demostrar de que estamos hechos.
Thank you very much to my both promoters for this opportunity to work first title fight in only 5 fights that I have. So I come to take the belt to Argentina.
It's very good. Young man's on a hot streak. Hopefully he takes home the belt for the WBO Youth World Championship title. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Arregui. Chino, you've been sitting a little quiet. This next question's for you. Obviously, some of us over here know there has been a bit of controversy surrounding Chino's opponent. Marcos was being sanctioned to fight Yao Cabrera, who has unfortunately pulled out due to unfortunate circumstances. Chino, I would like to ask you, man, you have fought some of the biggest names in the world. You are credited with being Mayweather's toughest opponent till date. You gave him hell. You were so prepared to take on this kid who was just trash talking you. And this is something we've seen with YouTubers in boxing. Ultimately, whether you look at Jake Paul, KSI, Logan Paul, it's often a lot of talk. Do you feel YouTubers are actually able to back up and stand toe-to-toe with world champions like yourself?
Hola Chino, tú eres un gran campeón y has peleado con los mejores del mundo, como Mayweather, Bruna y toda esa gente. Has tenido muchos títulos mundiales. Viniste a Dubái a pelear contra Yao Cabrera, que es un influencer y un youtubero. Lamentablemente no pudo venir para acá, pero supongo que te preparaste bien igual. Hay mucho boxeo ahora con influencers de exhibición y como Jake Paul y los otros boxeadores que lo hacen. ¿Qué tú piensas sobre el boxeo con los influencers? ¿Eso tiene futuro?
Buenas tardes para todos. Yo creo que esto es yo iba a hacer una exhibición con Yao Cabrera y bueno, no apareció, yo me preparé todo bien, pero bueno, esto es un negocio y yo creo que ayuda mucho al boxeo, los influencers, suma público y creo que por eso más que nada se hace esto.
Yeah, I come here to Dubai to fight against the influencer and YouTuber João Cabrera, but he's not coming because of personality problems. So I'm here with my team. About the box fighters, exhibition fights, I think this is part of the future in the boxing. So we have more people to see in the world boxing. The boxing fans and the part of the YouTube fans and influence fans. So I think this has future.
Quiero agradecer a Legacy de estar compartiendo acá con Chino Maidana Promotion este gran evento y a nuestros boxeadores que van a estar peleando y dejando todo ahí arriba del ring.
I want to give thank you to Karim Aka from Legacy Sports Management to make the show here with me in co-promotion, and yeah, I think we have a nice show on Saturday and that all our guys win the fights.
También prometo que le vamos a poner una teacher para que nuestros boxeadores hablen inglés y para la próxima que se puedan expresar libremente en inglés.
And I want to, when we go back to Argentina, bring all my guys to the English school. The next time he can make the interview by himself.
That's lovely sentiment. Ladies and gentlemen, your former champion, Marcos Chino Maidana. Please give him a round of applause. And finally, I've got a question from Mr. Karim Akar, our CEO over here at Legacy Sports Management. Karim, this is your second time back in Dubai. Originally, you guys are based out of Germany. How does it feel to be returning to the Diamond City of Dubai, UAE? What are your thoughts, man?
It is amazing to be back in Dubai. I think me and my team, everyone, all the fighters love the city, they love the spirit, they love the fans. We're very excited for next Saturday. Dubai seems to be a new spot for boxing. How they have the COVID situation, how they have the whole lockdown stuff. And we see very big fights here in the region. We hope to be part of that movement.
Well, it's been no easy feat over here. Legacy Management has been able to bring across 11 pro fights, 22 fighters across 16 different countries, and no small feat logistically alone. What would you like to tell the fans as we look forward to the 26th of March?
I mean, we have our principles, only good fights, only quality fights, no undercard, start from the beginning to the end, tough fights. We have amazing fight card, we have big names on the fight card, we have big prospects also. So it will be a surprise for a lot of people, but be there from the beginning, but it will be action from the first go.
It's amazing. Karim, one final question. Is there a fight you're particularly interested in, someone you're keeping an eye on? Someone new to the roster, perhaps?
You mean on fight night?
Fight night.
Could name one of them. They're all great fighters from everywhere. The whole team Maidana, crazy fighters, sick fighters. All go forward, very strong team. And our fighters are also definitely top of the world, top of their division. So very
That's very amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, our CEO, Karim Akar from Legacy Sports Management. And now we're going to bring forward our co-main event and switch up our panel for our main event and co-main event.